Hello everyone and welcome back, and hello to my new subscribers. Honestly, you guys make me so happy, so thank you so much, and thank you for coming back to watch one of my videos. So today I was going to film a plan with me. I'll move these out of the way for a moment because as you can see, last week sort of went off the rails, well, a lot. I had a really time-sensitive project to do, and so it started Wednesday, and then I tried to keep going with planning, and I actually spent most of my days working on my project instead of picking up my planner, as much as it hurt me to leave her alone. But priorities, unfortunately. So instead of filming a week in review, which is really sad, I am going to film a plan with me for this week. So as you can see, I've got quite a few things going, and this is actually really my only use for the Target page flags, and I wish I liked them more, but they're only $1, so there's not a lot of complaining that can be done with them. But every time you peel one off, it leaves a sticky residue that you then have to like wipe off before you can write on it. So that's my one complaint, but they're $1, which makes it so I really don't care that I'm only using it to highlight what I'm going to do and then move the sticky note off and never use it again. So this is my work schedule. So first thing I'm going to do is grab one of these guys and write that down. And that's not, I know that doesn't look like much at all, but that's because I'm actually going home to my parents for these 3 days. Well, actually, going home these 2 days, and on the 21st, I'm seeing the Phantom of the Opera in Portland, which I'm so excited about. So I usually, when I do plan, I try to only plan a couple days in advance because I really don't, my week changes so quickly, especially these days. I'm probably not going to be doing much to them because I'm going to be with my family as opposed to with my planner, and there's really not a lot of planning that needs to happen around that, despite what my nephew says. He's 4 years old and he's created an itinerary for me because he hasn't seen me since last November, unfortunately. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this white out and cover these guys up because that's pretty much, you know, I use it for what I want. There you go. And see, they move so easily, don't they? Oh, I miss a little. Oh well. Pink polka dots. What do you say? Pink polka dots or green and pink stripe? I'm gonna go with the green and pink stripe. So I just put this right over it. There. That makes me so much happier than seeing the words through the washi like I was before. It's, you know, it's the little things, quite honestly. You know what? That's a little, I'm not even gonna bother. Seriously, this trick, the ruler trick, changed my life. So just lay a ruler down, tear it, and it's a perfectly straight line. Awesome, guys. So actually, do I have room for this? I do. I'll make it work. This, actually, if you're wondering what this is, I found this, it's a little rolly stamp, believe it or not, in the Target dollar bin. It was one of the $3 ones, and it was too cute to leave behind. I mean, it came with an ink pad, obviously you can see it, but let's be real, the Target ink pads from the dollar bin really aren't that great. But it's got thanks, it's got a thanks, it's got the date and the little dashes, little asterisks, a like with a heart, handmade, reading these backwards, I apologize, congrats, love, from, to, a row of hearts, to do, and an arrow. And it was just too cute to pass up, and I only found one. I'll probably go back and see if there's another one because I would love gifting these out just, you know, random acts of kindness and whatnot from, I don't know where these are from, what season they were in, but I found it, I loved it, and it found with my Target bag leaving the store. So there you go. And I wanted to use the thanks and the hearts across the bottom here that are supposed to be my daily thank you, or what I'm thankful for, which some days is harder than others, let me tell you. I wanted to use the pink, but I'm afraid I might out pink myself, which I know sounds really hard to do, but when you like black as much as I do, the colors are really easy to out color yourself. Boom. That's cute. It'll work. It's cute. It's not as bright as I thought it would be. So let's try red. Red hearts. Why not? Clean that off a little bit. The sound effects are important. Yeah, I know. Haha! Stamping is always like, it's so nerve-wracking, but I kind of like the inconsistency and the boo-boos just a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. My battery on my camera just completely died. I guess that's what I get for trying to film multiple videos in one day. So while the battery was charging, I just went ahead and covered in all of the morning, day, and night headers with the May colored header stickers that I made myself. I'll tell you what, trying to get these colors to match is a very, very tedious process. Okay, so moving right along, we'll start with Monday. And then I just go ahead and write in all of the headers with my little Sakura jelly roller. Now the trick is for this guy is to seriously not write hard at all. As much as it's, I think, for me at least, it's instinct to just press down hard. The more you want your ink to, you know, the more saturated you want your ink to be, and that's really not the way this works at all. So I'll start with the today headers on all of these. Gosh, I love the mint, but it just does not want to show up. Not quite as great as the pink one. For these ones, I don't think, it'll work. Not very well, but writing next to the coil is the most difficult thing in the world. Okay, I'll go back over that in a minute when it dries. Today, so Monday, as you can see, I'm working 11 to 9, so there's not going to be a whole lot of stuff I'm going to get to accomplish that day. So what I am going to do, see, today, that'll have my to-do list. I'm going to put in a section here for an inspirational quote, because that's kind of what I use as a filler when I don't have a lot that I'm going to be doing that day. I wish I could find a better white pen, to be perfectly honest. This one works okay. It just works better when, you know, your surface is black, not this kind of middle ground. And I just don't like the black as header. I just don't. That's how it works. Inspiration. And then I'm going to check in with my little side project, Ink and Whiskey, which is a little kind of hand knit clothing company that I'm starting. Getting it off the ground and actually dedicating time to it has been easier said than done, if only because, you know, knitting takes time, so I've kind of dabbled a little bit more in screen printing and design in that regard, which is also, it's still a lot of fun. I like doing it. So but we're gonna check in with that, and I'll write down in a minute. First, I'm gonna grab a little heart checklist real quick. And I didn't go and cut the chevrons on these guys because on the sheet there are a million of them and I would have been there for an hour just cutting out the tiny little chevrons. So I just do it as I'm putting in the planner. And just line that guy up there. Okay, so on this day, the only note that I had was rental car because I'm driving down to visit my parents in a rental car because my car's just not gonna cut it. And yeah, plus you get to drive something shiny for a while, so which is nice. I'm gonna pull out the suitcases. I know I'm only going for a couple days, but all of my travel bags were kind of shoved in the back of my closet, so pulling them out is a little bit of an ordeal because my closet has a tendency to just absorb everything and then vomit it all back out really quickly. And if you're wondering, I'm using the Friction ballpoint pen for this because I can't find my other one. I don't know where it went. As soon as it came into my life, it just went right back out, which is fine. I like this. I can erase it. So I think that's gonna be pretty much it for me. I'll probably figure out, or not figure out, remember a few things that I need to do later that day too. So inspiration. All right, so my quote, inspiration. I'm gonna go with one by Sheila Marie Bethel today. Alright, so one of the most courageous things you can do is identify yourself, know who you are, what you believe in, and where you want to go. Very inspirational, especially given that I want to check in with Ink and Whiskey on this day. Because it's kind of one of those things that I'm not very courageous about because it's putting a lot out there. Probably more than I like to admit. So my goals for this are pretty much going to be updating stock for an upcoming show that I'm doing with my roommate. I want to do a strand test with bleach on one of the yarns I want to use. And then do a website content map, which is all stuff I can pretty easily do when I get home from work. Nothing really big that day. Okay, so the next day I've got cello due, which means that I have cello payment to do that day for my cello lessons. Strangely, I also have a cello lesson that day, which is even better. And I'll tell you, if I could find a seller who did a treble clef or a tiny cello, I would be over the moon. I know that they have, or not treble clef, bass clef. I know that they have treble clefs here and there in some of the stores and like tiny guitars and whatnot, but I'm a cello girl and we play in the bass clef register, so I would just be completely over the moon if that was something that would actually happen. And since I get off pretty early, where did my jelly roll go? There you are. I'm gonna make this box YouTube. So I can edit and hopefully upload to that day. Yeah, that's much better. Way crooked on that one. Oh well. Upload haul. I want to see, let's see. I've been meaning to actually put art up and brand it a little bit. Let's see if I can actually accomplish that today or that day, since I'll be getting off at 5 and I'll have a 3-hour gap between when hopefully 3 hours-ish when I get home. And then just kind of check my stats, which is something I think I'm going to be keeping in the monthly view, along with an editorial calendar when I develop it. So there's that. And then I've been playing around with the idea of making a blog to go with my channel. Playing around with it because it's a lot of commitment, and right now I'm still working on making sure I upload a couple times a week. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Actually, and then I want to put, before I forget, my little hydrate stickers. Getting these guys off the back is always the hardest part. So let's make sure I get hydrated that day. I can't even manage to do this. I'm gonna put this down here next to ink and whiskey. It'll work, it'll be fine. All right, so in this last section, I'm gonna do a little bit of goal planning. Now, goals for me is different than to-dos, if only because, like, to-dos are, hey, you absolutely have to do these today, or you should be absolutely trying to do these today. Goals are a little bit different because it's something that I would really like to do, but it's not gonna be life or death if I don't get them done, and it's not something that I would have to carry over to tomorrow. You know, that kind of thing. Like, these are my goals for maybe a little more long-term than immediate, hey, today. Stuff to do within the week. Yeah. So those will be my goals. And these aren't going to be checked off on Tuesday if I don't get them done. Because like I said, it's kind of more of a checkpoint for the week, so I'll be coming back to it throughout the week when I have time. Alrighty, so today, or I should say Wednesday, that is the day I am leaving to visit my family in Corvallis, Oregon. And I'm gonna put a little flag here. Boom. These are so cute. I'm so glad I bought them. Seriously, there were 3 in the $3 bins at Michael's. Go get them. They're really freaking adorable. All right. And then let's go with pink. Pink and baby blue. I wanted to leave about 6 a.m. for that because I want to spend as much time as humanly possible with my mom, my dad, and my nephew, who is 4 and adorable. So I'm going to set a goal of 6 a.m. Realistically, that means that I'm going to have to wake up before 6 a.m., which you can probably tell by the tone of my voice that that's not likely to happen, but I'm gonna set a goal so maybe I can leave before rush hour really starts, especially since I would want to go to my favorite coffee place, Stumptown, on the way. You know, coffee road trip. I have a plan in my head because I've made this drive so many times. I have a plan in my head that if I leave at a certain time, then I'll be in the middle of nowhere, Washington, by the time that rush hour really gets going, so I won't really be affected by it. Have a plan. Doesn't always work out that way, but I have a plan. And you know what I should do? I should add pack to this day. I should probably pack. There. And on this day, I'll add a little dot that says finish packing because If I'm gonna leave at 6 a.m., there's no way in hell I'm waking up extra early to finish packing. Here I go misplacing things again. I just had it. We will do a star on this day. Green. Here we go. Hearts and stars. You can never go wrong with hearts and stars. And by finished packing, I hope by that time I'm really just putting my laptop in a bag, because you know that's always going to be the last day or last thing. So these days I'm going to leave blank, if only because I would rather write down things that happened. I plan on taking my Instagram with me, so maybe I can get some really cute shots of my nephew and post them in here or something like that. I'll leave this open for now. I'll probably think of something later. I'm gonna put the rest of this together here. And then one of these days I'm trying to get an appointment at the Wonderland tattoo place in Portland, so I was kind of hoping to make it an all-in-one kind of trip. We'll see how that goes. So I'll add that in when I actually make an appointment. But there we go, so far. So that is pretty much so far how I set up my week. I'll leave this here because I know I don't write a whole lot of work things in here specifically because I have a planner for work, specifically for work, but this is more of like kind of a mental space kind of thing, because you really do have to be in a mental space in order to prepare to count everything in a store. Let me tell you that. Let me add a couple more things here since I'm only doing a couple of the days out of the week. I will spend a little more time decorating. And that one there, especially because I plan on drinking coffee for a significant portion of the trip, probably best that I also drink as much water as possible. So I think there needs to be a dinosaur. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Which one should I use? No. I really like the see-through one because I can like practice place everything. If only all stickers came like that, right? There, since I probably won't use that whole to-do list. All right, so website. All right, so that is everything so far. Or at least everything I do to plan in my day. I meant to put, no, I was gonna put down my little vitamins, but let's be real. I'm really probably not gonna sit here and cut all this out. I pre-cut all of these guys, so I wouldn't be sitting here on camera just cutting stuff out because that can't be remotely interesting to any of you guys. And then I'm going to use one of my new stickers. Yep. Come on. It's good to know that I am not the only one that is bad at Sharpie. So are machines, apparently. I'll put this down here because I want to put my little read list there. And I'm currently working my way through Neil Gaiman's new book, Triggers and Trigger Warnings, his new short story collection, which is phenomenal and you should read it. And I wish I was having breakfast with my friends so I could, you know, actually use the waffles. Actually. But alas. Alrighty. So let me put this back here. And I'm going to go ahead and use one of these guys too to just kind of separate. Maybe I'll use one of these guys. Okay, there we go. To just kind of separate out this section from the vast amount of goals and notes, pages. And I wanted to add just a few more decorations down here because why not? Got some battery life, we're good. So I'm going to use this little love stamp from the Heidi Swap. Let's see if I can't get that exactly where I want it. Close enough. And I need to get better at stamping because that's going to start bugging me if I have those everywhere. You can see there where I kind of rubbed off the purple or the pink because I really didn't want it, and the heart's right there. So love. All right, so that is, I think, all I'm going to do for now. And yeah, so that's kind of how I start my week. As I go through, I'll probably do a week in review on this guy once I fill in all of this, because I really, like I said, since I'm going to be home visiting family and seeing the Phantom of the Opera that day, I should probably draw a little Phantom mask. I'm going to put this guy back. Draw myself a little Phantom mask since there exists no Phantom mask stickers. Alas, we'll have to work on that one too. Cellos and Phantom of the Opera masks, you guys. That's my request. So, until then, this is a good start. Now I'll check back in with you later. Have a wonderful day, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with any cool ideas or tricks or just because you want to. So, thank you, and have a lovely week. Bye!